Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. As usual, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you coming back. Today I bring you a book review. I'm reviewing this book by James Baldwin and it's called Go Tell It on the Mountain. It is a very short book, so this review will also be quite on the short side. So let's get into it. So while reading this book, I noticed that actually this was the first time I've read a book by an openly gay man. And I just found that so odd. And I'm wanting to change that and read more titles by gay men. So if you know of any good books, please comment below. I'd really appreciate your recommendations. I just find it important to read books written by, a variety of people with different perceptions and understanding and view of the world. So the other thing I noticed was for the past couple of years, I've been mostly reading modern contemporary books, and I haven't read a book, like this one that is written a while back in the 1950s, set in the 1930s, and I quite enjoyed the throwback, if you will. Also, I haven't read a book that has this much reference to the Bible and the Christian life in such a long time, so I struggled a little bit through it, but towards the end it was okay. So this book is a semi-autobiographical book. It follows the life of an African American family in the 1930s, mostly based in Harlem. The main characters are Johnny, the 14-year-old boy, his mom Elizabeth, his aunt Florence, a few individuals from the congregation, and his dad Gabriel, who is a preacher and is very strict and is all about doing the Lord's work. The dad is also abusive. He goes as far as telling Johnny that he has the face of Satan. I really did not like Gabriel. So from the get-go, Johnny's situation really resonated with me. He found himself in a situation that he did not like. And people, the family, the congregation, had specific expectations. They thought he would be like his dad, become a preacher. I could already tell that this environment that he found himself in did not resonate with him. He had dreams and other ideas of how he wanted to live his life. I would describe Johnny as this quiet rebellion. He's one of those people who is underestimated because he's so reserved, and people always assume he will be the good boy. So a majority of the book is spent in throwback mode, if you will. So what the author does is, in the beginning, you are introduced to the characters and you're given insight into their current situation and life. A majority of the book takes you back to their earlier lives. So we learn about Gabriel and his upbringing and how he ended up being a preacher and all the skeletons that he has in his closet. We learn about Florence, Johnny's aunt, how she ended up, leaving home, and how she stopped being a Christian and the kind of life she led after she left home. We learn about Johnny's mom, Elizabeth, how she ended up with Gabriel. We learn about Johnny and his upbringing and how he was born, where he was born. So it was all very riveting. I really enjoyed getting to know the characters. So there are three things that I found slightly challenging with this book. The one was the heavy referencing, like I said, the heavy referencing of the Bible and the Christian life and that kind of thing. And I think it's just because I haven't read this kind of book in such a long time, so some parts I found hard to get through. I will say that there are some church scenes that I thoroughly enjoyed because James does such a great job of bringing humor into it and also being very, very descriptive. The second thing I struggled with was his rhythm of writing and the pace. Um, and I think this is because the sentences were too long. I found myself, having to go back to the beginning of the sentence to understand what it is that I read. But once I got into his rhythm, I actually realized that that's where the magic lies. It's in the long sentences where he's being very descriptive. And so my third struggle is really, I just wanted the book to be more about Johnny. Like, don't get me wrong, I really enjoyed the book, and I really enjoyed the throwbacks, and I found them very riveting. But I just wanted to know more about Johnny, like, because from the beginning of the book you can tell that he is, he's not gonna stay in this environment very long. Like, you could tell, like, Johnny's gonna get out, and I just wanted to know if he does get out and how he manages that. um, Anyway, guys, that was my review of James Baldwin's book. I hope you really enjoyed it. Please comment below if you've read it and what you thought of it. Till next time, take very good care. Bye. Mwah.